everybody. It's Shelley Hoffman, and I'm on here again with Dick Clarke, the mayor of Baldwinsville. And we are a little bit later today because I got kind of excited with some stuff going on with me, and he thought maybe I got kidnapped, but obviously that did not happen. I am here. But exciting things happening in the village this weekend. Again, for as dead as it was at the beginning, the end of spring and summer, there's a lot happening. So kind of excited to hear what you have to say.
Well, yeah, it wasn't too long ago, people were kind of thinking Halloween would just be another casualty. And for some families, because the kids get so excited about getting dressed up and that type of stuff, it's a big holiday. And so I just jotted down the fact that on Saturday we have from 10 to 1 is the window painting. Let's hope we don't get a day like today where it's pouring all the time, because that makes for messy windows.
It does.
But that's something people have already signed up for. And it's always fun to drive through the village and see families and little kids with, painting a witch on a broom, going over the top of the moon or something. Everybody's creative. They all have their own ideas. It's a chance to show off a little bit, and kind of fun stuff. I remember back from, I think my youngest sister did it. But I just remember every fall, it was sort of a real nice time to see everybody downtown. Because we had a lot more retail business in the village then. So mom and dad would bring the kid, and maybe one of them would go shopping and pick up a few things. And so I think it was a big day for some of the businesses too. Nice. From 12 to 3 is the trick or treat with downtown businesses. There's a special orange logo that says trick or treat that everybody's supposed to have on their window to tell you that they are taking part. But I think, assuming the weather is fine, people will probably be outside the business anyways with a table and candy. And so it's a chance to show off costumes and pick up a little candy and be down in the village and see what's there for people who don't spend a lot of time in the village.
Well, I just want to add real quick, if you don't mind, that for anybody watching, if you have a business and you're not participating, that Marianne from the chamber, who's putting that on, said it's not too late to join. It's just a matter of letting them know to help you advertise. And then you can print that logo sign for your window yourself. So anybody that hasn't, what's today, Wednesday? You still have until pretty much Thursday or Friday to participate in it. So that would be great to see more businesses.
Yeah, thanks for that update. I wouldn't have known that. And then later in the day from 2 to 4 at the Wesleyan Church over on Downer Street across from the new apartments, they're having trunk or treat. You drive through, coming on Ford Street, which is the street that Van Buren School is on, and come into the parking lot and drive through towards Frawley, and they'll have vehicles set up, and you drive up to the trunk and know how many kids, and plop candy in their bags, and you go to the next car. Now they would like, if anybody's got a trunk that would like to set up to give away candy, they could use a few more. So if you wanted to call it the church, Community Wesleyan Church on Downer Street, and they would set you up with the organizers. Let me think. Oh, and then not talking about the senior center specifically yet, but they are having a Halloween event on the 30th at 2:00. It's a drive-through, pick up a Halloween treat. If you're wearing a costume, your name gets added to a drawing for a prize. So just like picking up lunches, just like today getting flu shot, drive up and get a treat. I don't know what the treat is, but everything they've been doing has been pretty clever. So nice. Might be a cupcake, might be a little bag of candy or something, but for seniors, it gets you a chance to get out of the house and see some of your friends that'll be over there giving away the candy.
Well, you know what? You're speaking of the drive-through and pickup. I got a little bit more information about it last night at the Rotary Club in the Pub. But on Saturday, and you might be mentioning this if I'm jumping ahead of you, but Rotary's doing the polio event at WT on Saturday. And they're going to have waffles, and it was drive up beer. And I said, how is that going to happen? But it's cans, because obviously you don't do the open containers. You don't, but WT says it's going to be cans of beer that they're giving out. And I cannot believe I'm drawing a blank on the time that is. I don't know if you have that, but.
Oh, I think it's like around 11:30.
Yeah, 11:30. 12 o'clock might be the time that they're doing that. So you have the village kids trick or treating. So my joke was, well, when the kids are grabbing in trick or treating, hop in your cars and you can drive through WTs and
Yeah.
get a
I think,
waffle or something on
I
your
think
way
the
out.
Rotary thing starts at Mercer Park at
Mhm.
11:30, and then they're going to have like a march to the square for the noon waffles and that type of stuff. So
Yeah.
so
And
there's
then
a
also the
lot of
right
stuff
after the
going on.
Wesley Church is doing it. I think it's 5. It starts at 5. So I think that the church that you mentioned was what is, and I'm saying it wrong. Um,
Wesleyan?
yeah, they're starting I think at 4, and then the Methodist Church is doing trunk or treat that day as well too.
Yeah,
At
yeah, the
at 5 o'clock.
Wesleyan one's 2 to 4.
2 to 4. Okay, 2 to 4. So then later in the day, I think it starts at 5 is the Methodist church. So
These-
literally, if somebody is looking for something to do on Saturday in the village, there's crazy stuff going on Saturday, which is great. I'm excited. I'll be in the village all day long, kind of checking it all out.
Yeah, for kids and parents who have, kind of laid low, this is a chance to, and all the stuff is, if you read all the directions on all of it, everything is socially distanced, wear masks, don't let kids reach in the bucket for the candy. You take the candy and put it in their bag type stuff.
Yeah.
And then on Halloween night, on that next Saturday, we have trick or treating from 6 to 8. And I know that in our development here in Candlewick, that some of us are going to be fairly creative in how we dispense the candy, because partly to be safe, to not go face to face with kids and whatever, but also it's the time to try to liven things up a little bit. And so the Clarke House will have a kind of a cool way to get candy to the kids, and I've heard other people doing something similar. Not going to tip it off because I don't want everybody to steal my idea.
Well, you should make a little video of at least giving the candy to a couple kids, and then we can kind of share your creativity and stuff. I think it would be
There
a
you
fun
go.
thing to do.
There you go. So let me see what else we have here. This is a time thinking about all the things that we're doing for kids and all that type of stuff. I think we talked about it last week when I had my Be a Nice Person shirt on. I shouldn't have to wear a shirt for people to know to be nice, but so I didn't wear it today. But it is a time to start thinking outside the box for people who are alone, and not because of the virus necessarily. We've got a lot of people who, are widows, widowers, just living by themselves, older people particularly, but they don't have to be old. Sometimes it's just single people living alone, and holidays are tough times. I've been fortunate. I married late. I was 38 when I got married, but I thought of down the road what it would be like on holidays after my parents were gone and that type of stuff. And I think people are pretty good. I've heard people say many times for all different sorts of reasons that they really just never really stop being amazed at how giving this community is. Well, it's time again for Thanksgiving boxes. A lot of different businesses put boxes together for the volunteer center. If you have somebody in need, if you know a family that's struggling, needs a little help, let the volunteer center know. They'll probably make contact with them and say when's a good time to set this up. But they do a real nice job with the Thanksgiving box, and then Christmas time. You tell them I have 3 kids. One likes this, one likes that. They try to find gifts that match your kids' interests and ages. There's the rescue mission is doing meals for Thanksgiving and Christmas. If you know somebody that would like a Thanksgiving meal, somebody that would like a Christmas meal, but maybe have no family around, call the Canton Woods desk and get registered, and then they'll pass it on to the rescue mission. I'm going to look into getting a neighbor taken care of. I think it would be nice. But if people just look around and see, again, it doesn't have to be poor people or old people. It could be people just down on their luck right now that need a little perk me up. or pick me up, whichever. Um, uh, but it's just nice. I don't know how many people have never done something to help people like that, but I know you. I'm sure you've done a lot of that stuff. Just when you give somebody a little package at Christmas time, and maybe it's a box of candy, or it's a a lap robe type thing, and be surprised. It's little things mean a lot that somebody thinks, hey, somebody knows I'm alive. So I made that pitch, and don't take it lightly. I mean, I don't like to hammer on it, but you really can make a huge difference. And our community has been so good. Our volunteer center does such a great job. And we have the rescue mission, and we have the Salvation Army, and we have other groups. You can find a way to help.
Right.
And another area that people could think about helping the community out is Pac B. I know that they're hurting a little bit for live programming. I say live, current programming, because there's nothing going on. I mean, there have been some soccer games, and maybe somebody's been able to tape a soccer game that they can play, every other day for a week or something, so people can see something different. But part of the problem is you need staffing to do that. You need people to run cameras. You need people to do some editing. They do have a few, but if you're a person who's really likes to do civic stuff, and you don't like your face in front of a camera, you don't like to stand up in front of a Rotary Club and talk every week, you can make a difference. Hold a camera, set it on a tripod, tape an event, take it down to the people at PAC-B, and they'll get it on the air. They were looking at one time if anybody had videos of past window painting events, like maybe they walked down through the center of town and taped for 10 or 15 minutes. They were going to put 3 or 4 of those tapes together of past Halloween, window painting, that type of stuff. So if you may think the stuff you have wouldn't interest people, let PAC-B decide that. So, get a hold of them. And, if you don't, they have an office on Mechanic Street. If you turn off of Genesee Street, it's the first house on the right is the PAC-B office. My sister Cindy, I think, has something to do with programming. My niece Kim Dryden has something to do with programming. Yeah. If you have ideas, if there's an event that, it's always awful to find out 3 days later that something happened. Somebody had, like a small horse show or a farm equipment type of thing that would be interesting to have somebody talk about. Let PAC-B make that decision of whether it's interesting or not. And so be thinking outside the box a little bit, ways we can help spice up the viewing, and also maybe get some more people to actually do the work.
Right. Well, and you mentioned videos of like the window painting, for example. So if we stick to the window painting, maybe if you don't have a video, just sending photographs, because you can do almost, with the editing pieces, almost every parent takes a picture of their child with that window painting. And I'm pretty sure Facebook memories, anybody on Facebook, there's going to be some of those popping up over the course of 8 years of kids who did window painting. And as a mom, I think that would be pretty cool to see on PAC-B, is maybe my son 7 years ago putting a window painting together, before he had his braces and he had the cute little high cheekbones. He'd hate me for saying that, but I don't have video, but I definitely have photos and things that have happened in the village. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, just they'd have to get somebody to put it all together, but that if they look, there's somebody out there that would help do that, I'm sure. So be thinking about those. The same thing with as we get closer to Christmas, we will not have an official tree lighting this year because one year we had close to 10,000 people jammed into the Four Corners area and down into the square and stuff. Obviously, we would be headlines and on all the newscasts and everything else if we had that kind of crowd. We will have a tree. We will light the tree. We will probably record it. We may go live at the time we do it. And we may put together some highlights from some of the fire truck parades from other years to give people, a Christmas salute to downtown Baldwinsville. And so hopefully there'll be something for people to look at from Halloween to Christmas that would, spice up their day a little bit.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Hey,
And if people should be thinking, if they have events, like if groups are doing things, like if, say, the VFW Post has some kind of an event. They recently had a memory thing for the MIA and that type of stuff. And that was videoed, and I watched that. But they also, they have other kind of things that they might not think anybody would be interested in, but sometimes they're a little unique. So if we put our heads together, maybe we can come up with some stuff. And sports is picking up a little bit. Like I say, with the soccer, I would think the biggest problem is they probably don't have too many people who want to stand and tape soccer games for a couple hours. We really lost a good one when Joe Lafredo retired, because he was our sports guy. Loved doing the sports. And so.
Before you go to your next topic, we did have a question. Somebody was curious if the village got bids for when you did the redesign of your website. Did that go out for bids, or how did you decide who was going to do that website?
I believe that this was the same company that we're already using. They just said, we're doing them. Your website needs to be updated.
Okay.
So they updated it, for us. We didn't have any resolution where we had to spend extra money to do it and stuff. I think they just updated for us. It's all the same information, and I'm 99% sure it was with the company that we're already under contract with. Okay. So, just throw a few things out there. I talked to Chuck McAuliffe at the DPW. We are in the process of trying to hire somebody for the water department, and that should happen quickly. We did put a thing out for an engineer position. Expect that will probably take a little time to find somebody who maybe wants to get out of an office working for, a design firm or an engineering firm, and would like to get out and actually leave their mark on the world with designing stuff for the village. Okay. So we're anticipating that we'll have a nice crop of people that are interested. We think our village is a good place to work, and there are things here that are, not just humdrum kind of stuff. I mean, our engineer deals with the promoter on Paper Mill Island, paving, sidewalks. A couple years ago, we put in new streetlights. Our engineer was in charge of putting that all together. So, I mean, we have some interesting stuff to keep people busy, and it's not a sit at a desk type of job. And so, hopefully we'll.
Steve D'Arcangelo definitely had some pride in some of the projects and stuff he had worked on during his tenure here.
Yeah, it was pretty obvious when he was on with you, when he was sitting and talking. It was a little more than just pointing out what had been done. I think it was you could see his chest puff up a little bit, because he had a lot to do with most of it. The senior center floor is done. They're working on the door that divides the room in half. Jeff Bornwell's been over there for a couple of days getting that set up and painting the enclosure where the door goes when it's not in use. And then our DPW crew, a few of them will go over in between brush. When the brush pickup ends and the snowplow begins, there's usually a couple weeks in between, and we'll probably go over and paint the whole room. So the seniors will have a real nice room. They did come inside yesterday, first time since everything got shut down in March. And it went fairly well, according to Ruth. She felt that the people that were there responded with what they were told they had to do. They had, in the morning, we had the Tai Chi and the falls prevention classes. They were at two separate times, so they didn't overlap. Then in the afternoon was the art class and the book club, and they didn't overlap. And her thing was, it worked out okay. So it's a start. And we will continue to monitor how that goes and then look at other possibilities to bring into the building. It's just not going to open the door and let people wander through. That's not going to happen. Did have flu shots this morning. Got mine. I hope most of the seniors out there got theirs. I hope everybody gets a flu shot, but particularly seniors who not only have to worry about the flu, but the virus is potentially deadly for seniors. I'm going to go back to the DPW and finish that up. Oh, you know what? Yeah, we're all right. The brush pickup is going great. We're doing it every week now. There are some paving being done in Canton Woods, small areas. I think where they had the leaks from the fire hydrant cleaning and the water lines broke, they had to dig up part of the road and stuff, and so they're fixing them. The hydrant work is just about done. All that's left is Baldwin Hill and Aspen Springs, and our crews will be there during the day to do those instead of going in at night. Going to try to get the docks in as soon as we can, and we've ordered salt for the winter, and 3/4 of it is in. I'm going to plug the phone in so it doesn't run out. It's running out of battery right now.
That's all right. I'm still digesting the fact that we've moved on to salt, because you know why we have salt is because it gets cold and it snows.
But it's good to know that we have it.
It is. But I'm wearing my Myrtle Beach sweatshirt today because this is where I would like to have been, as opposed to this cold and dreary day here in central New York.
I got you. I think that's it with the DPW. The other senior stuff. I mentioned the holiday meals, the peace lunch. Again, reminder, it's now Monday, Wednesday, and Friday pickups. Call the center for menus and to make reservations. We mentioned the Halloween thing on the 30th at 2:00. Drive up and get a treat. Nancy Sullivan is available at any time for seniors who need help with any of the programs that are available, particularly HEAP at this time. But if if you need help getting food, getting rides to doctors or any of that kind of stuff, Nancy would help you on that. So call the center. The 2 fundraisers going on right now at the center. One of them is live holiday wreaths. I've never seen them. I'm interested in maybe possibly buying one this year. They're made by North Country Florists. And if you've ever purchased flowers, flower arrangements from North Country, they do a great job. So I'm guessing the wreaths are going to be kind of nice. They're 2 different sizes. I'm guessing a smaller and bigger wreath, and 2 choices of ribbon color and that type of stuff. So call the center if you're interested in a wreath. Reminder about Down Memory Lane on Mondays at 4:00 with moi and the First Lady. Call Canton Woods to get the Zoom sign on. If you've been on, if you're on this week, it's the same. We're going to use the same sign on, so you don't need a new one. But just get the word out. I think because the center's closed, word of mouth is not happening. So people are not finding out, oh, that's right, Memory Lane, I'll be there. So we've had some fun with it. I hope that we get a few more people. It's fun to talk about old times, and we had a few laughs. And our other fundraiser at Canton Woods, if you would step in, hon. My wife is so excited about the calendars.
I don't know there, First Lady. You're starting to become a regular.
I know, right?
She's going to want to get paid.
Oh, I'm not? They're in. Yes, they came in early. I didn't expect them on Saturday, but they came at 4:00 Saturday, and within 24 hours, we had 87 spoken for.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, so it's moving along. People are already coming back for more. So that's very cool. Now, for those who don't know, this is a fundraiser for Canton Woods. And as many people know, that area people have donated the pictures that are all of Baldwinsville. They're $20 each. We can mail them out for an additional $5 for the cover the postage and the envelopes and everything. Now people can order by calling Canton Woods, getting a hold of us on the Facebook page called Baldwinsville Calendar Sales. My personal page, email, whatever. But pick up right now for people who pre-order is at Canton Woods, and we make arrangements for other ways they can pick up if they can't do Canton Woods.
Okay. And I spoke to you a little bit before we went live here that the community room, we can pick a couple hours, 2 days a week. And maybe because it's, the center of the village, maybe that'll be an easy spot for people to come and either purchase. They have to bring cash with them that day, or ones that have already prepaid. If you said that you promised to put their name on them and you were completely organized, I have faith in that, so they can come pick them up.
Okay, that'd be awesome, because it's hard for some people. Like Canton Woods is open, is it 8 or 8:30? 8 o'clock to 4, Monday through Friday. But for some people, who are working, that's hard. So it's good to have the option of an evening and Saturday. I appreciate that.
Of course.
So we'll have to pick. Do you know what days would work best for you?
So I have a child labor law happening at my house. I have a 14-year-old that's looking to get some allowance. And so her and I are going to coordinate a time, but most likely on Saturday, because like you said, that's a good time. We'll be down here for, I would say maybe not this Saturday. It's too crazy, but next Saturday, maybe 11 to 1, something like that in the middle of the afternoon. We'll put it on our page and I'll share it to you so you can put it on the calendar page as well. And then an evening, maybe that particular child labor person has a Wednesday night art studio class. Maybe next Thursday we can do that.
That would be good.
But it's great. There's a lot of young kids in our community that are looking for ways to get involved. Not just Allison, my daughter, but other ones. So if anybody else I can rally, maybe we'll pick another evening too, and they can do that.
Nice.
Never tell the mayor about child labor issues.
I specifically said it because you're the mayor. just to get a reaction. But no, we're calling it her community donation to the center. She also volunteered off the topic for the events, which one of the events happened this past week is clean up and set up. So she cleans my house for an allowance, and now we've moved that into cleaning the community room as well. If only I could get her to clean the whole building, bathrooms and all, I'd be set. But that's where I might get in trouble, Mayor. So that's a little much for her.
And what's her name?
Allison.
Allison. Good job, Allison. I like to see, young people who are committed, involved with the community. And that's great. Well, let me know let's figure out as soon as we can what days, and then we can start promoting it ahead.
Okay.
For those days. That would be great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll shoot you a message later today and we'll get that out to social media and stuff.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Sure. All right. What else you got today, Mayor? Anything?
All right. Not much. Just wrap it up here. I saw a note, Shacksboro posted that they're still not open, but people that need something from them, an old picture or need to buy a gift or something, it's BV Museum at Seneca-River.com is the Shacksboro email. And I think they have a phone, and they also have a Facebook page. So you can find them. They do have stuff that makes very nice Christmas presents, books that have been written about the history of Baldwinsville. I got a hat for Christmas last year. It's a Baldwinsville hat. Looks like a canal type picture on it. It's really nice. So that beautiful scarves and, a lot of old time stuff. So if there's something that maybe you saw when you were there one time before and you'd love to get it for somebody, if you call, I'm sure they'd love to make a sale. Again, to remind people, places like Shacksboro, we've mentioned Rotary, the Kiwanis, which is Turkey Trot, is going to go virtual this year. All those organizations, people look at it and don't realize that what they do is fund other organizations that have trouble getting their own funds.
Yeah.
And so it's a negative trickle down effect, a bad trickle down effect that I know the Kiwanis annually is, as the race takes in like, between $30,000 and $40,000. And so they are able to give to 3 or 4 or 5 different groups and support them for, in some cases, probably for their annual budget is the money they get from Kiwanis. I know Rotary is great with exchange students, and the Lions Club does eyeglass exchange, and all of them are going to be hurting. Shacksboro, they're not a huge money maker, but they have a little gift shop there that turns some money over. So if you're normally one that likes to give, take a look at some of those organizations. In addition to, the Cancer Society, Alzheimer's, or whatever you might be your particular passion. If you can, might dig a little deeper. I'm not telling people what they ought to do. I'm just throwing it out as a thought. I'm signing up for the turkey trot. It's a virtual thing. I don't know if they'll ever know if I go or not. I am planning on walking the route, but I'm going to pick a nice warm day and walk the route. And people see me walking, I'll tell them this is my turkey trot. And
you know what you should do? You should get one of those hats. You see those hats? I think they have them at the dollar store that has the turkey legs coming out of it.
I know. Do they have them at the dollar store?
Well, they might have them right down here in the village, I bet. If not, I can find you one. But I think the day you do the turkey trot, you should wear the turkey hat.
Oh, I would wear it. I have
really? Awesome.
I have no conscience as far as that. I'd be happy.
Well, then people would know that's what you're doing,
Right. Yeah. And I might talk my sister into signing up.
That'd be cool.
Both my sisters, who knows? The courts, the only thing I got was a reminder to go to the website for forms and information to handle traffic violations and to remind people to use the drop box.
Okay.
They've not changed. They're only doing criminal things. And big news downtown, the deli sold. Which
really?
Yeah. Joanne posted on the deli site the other day that they're done as of the 30th, but somebody has bought it who plans to keep it the same. Because I don't know if she has worked there with them but I guess Joanne and her family, a lot of the grandkids are in Florida, and particularly now, people haven't been able to go back and forth. So I think they're planning on retiring and moving to Florida so that they'll be close to their grandkids all the time. So it was the Collars opened it up first, John and Cindy, and had a great business. Got nervous when they sold it. Joanne turned it into even a better business. The bisque, I don't know if you like bisque, but their seafood bisque is terrific. Their sandwiches they've been great from the start with the deli. So it's Amy, and I can't think of her last name. But on the Facebook site, it was, you talk about like a retirement. Everybody that has ever been in there just about posted about how they're going to miss the people that ran it and love the food and love the feeling when you were there. It was a little touch of hometown, it wasn't corporate type stuff. And so Amy said, I have a tough job, but I'm excited because I love the village too. And so
well, and that's going to show through, right? Anytime something like that happens or there's a change, if there's still the love and the passion there, it'll come through and people will continue to support. So I think it'll do well.
I hope everybody's doing well. With the weather turning, people are going to have more trouble being outside with their stuff. But just, you've supported your local businesses, continue to do that and support your local volunteer agencies. And that would make for a great holiday if everybody could just support a little bit. And a lot of people doing a little takes care of everybody. And I don't think I have anything else to, did I mention November 15th is the first day that you cannot park on village streets overnight. It's the snow parking. And so if you're used to during the summer, I've lost Shelley. Or she lost me. I don't know if I'm still on. But November 15th is the last day you can park on the street without getting a ticket. First day you can't park on the street or you'll get a ticket. And I think it's also the day that trailers, campers, and that type of stuff have to be moved to behind the property, the front line of the house. But check with the codes office if you have any questions.